The American people are onto the games that Wall Street and Washington are playing. So when they asked in a recent Pew Research Center study what percentage of people believe that too much power rests in the hands of large corporations and a few wealthy people in this country, 77% of Americans said absolutely, too much power in corporations and the wealthy. So the idea that the Republicans are going around saying they're, oh, no, the American people realize these are job creators. No, the American people realize they've got all the power and they're abusing it. More statistics here. 61% of respondents said that the U.S. economic system unfairly favors the rich. Not just they have too much money, but the system unfairly favors the rich. 61%, that is a solid majority. And even 51%, a majority of the country, said that Wall Street hurts the economy more than they help the economy. These are not good numbers for Wall Street. The American people are on to you. And it gets worse. This is actually a depressing part of the study. Do you still believe the American dream is possible? Now, whenever people are asked that, and they've been asked by Pew since 1994 that question, they usually have an answer of like, yeah, you know, we got troubles, the economy's in bad shape, the rich have too much power, but we still believe in the American dream. Well, that's still true. 58% of Americans think that if you work hard, you could make it in America. But we have a new record high for the number of people who say it is just simply not true. 40% of Americans saying the American dream is not possible. No matter how hard you work, the rules are set against you, rigged against you, and you can't make it. I actually don't believe that that is true, but it gives you an indication of how upset people are, how despondent people are. And don't get me wrong, I definitely agree with them that the rules are rigged against them. It's just a matter of can you overcome that and how can we fix those rules so that we get our democracy back. And then finally, though, this was an interesting stat. When asked, do you agree with Occupy Wall Street? Now, look, 77% of them agree with the central idea of Occupy Wall Street. But when you ask them specifically, do you agree with Occupy Wall Street? It's still a yes, but it's not 77%. 44% say yes, they support Occupy Wall Street. 35% say that they oppose it. Now, those are actually pretty good numbers, 44 to 35, much better than the Tea Party numbers across the country. But given that they agree totally with the central premise of Occupy Wall Street, they should be even higher if they knew, what that movement represented. But the part that disturbs me is 29% said that they approved of the way the protests were conducted, but a huge 49% said that they opposed the movement's strategies. Now, that bothers me because basically they've bought into the hype of like, hey, you know what, I get what they're saying, so that's good, but they shouldn't be doing it this way. The protests, they're so wrong. There's hippies, and then there's the confrontation with the cops, and Fox News is blaring, and then CNN picks it up, and then all the other news stations pick it up. Confrontation with the cops, as if they're the ones who caused it. They're sitting there doing their First Amendment right. The cops come in, do the raids, pepper spray, etc., and then they get blamed for it. 49% saying they're using the wrong tactics. But what tactics do you want them to use? If they politely said, hey, you know what, the rich are screwing you, and they said it in their basement, you wouldn't have heard it. You wouldn't know about the Occupy movement. There is no polite way of saying this. In fact, they're doing it as polite as possible. It's civil disobedience. It's not even disobedience. They're the ones following the law. They're the ones that are exercising their First Amendment rights, just like in the Civil Rights era. Martin Luther King said, hey, look, the Supreme Court has ruled in our favor. We do have these rights, whether it's to march, whether it's to insist on our civil rights in the South. It's the local police that are breaking the law. He was absolutely right about that as well. But of course, in the end, with all this propaganda against them, people go, well, I don't like the way they're doing it. No, don't believe the hype, man. They're doing it in a perfectly acceptable, in a tradition that is deeply American. They're protesting it and bringing attention to it. That's why you found out about it. And remember, you totally agree with them, meaning in general the American people. So I hardly have any problem with how they're doing it. Of course, it's a giant organization. Some people do the wrong things, but it's not even an organization. But overall, I think the movement has been fantastic, and I think that you should not only support the movement and the ideas behind it, but also the manner in which they are risking their safety at times and their careers by getting arrested, etc., by pushing this fight when you and so you can sit at home and say, nod your head and I agree, while they're out doing the fight. If anything, you should be honestly thanking them for that. And then when I was at Zuccotti Park, I was amazed at how tough those guys were. You go sleep on a concrete in New York in the fall when it gets cold, and you do it night after night. I challenge you to do it one night, let alone for months. So I appreciate their fight, and I appreciate the way that they're doing it, and their message is at least absolutely winning across the country.